Hey.
Hey,
You wanted to ask me something?
Yeah. No, I'm so glad you could come over. So, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. You look great, by the way.
Thank you.
This really suits you.
Thank you.
Had an important question to ask you, and I'm so sorry. I meant to call you last night, and it's about today's scene.
Yeah.
Who are the last Jedi?
We're not doing this, Josh.
No. Like, because is it one or is it more than one? Because I need it in order to figure out what we're doing on the train today.
I can't ask you about Frozen
So is it
2.
plural? I'll tell you that Olaf is in Frozen 2. Is it more than one Jedi? Is it ominous?
Josh?
It sounds ominous. Does
does
something
sound
happen
ominous, yeah.
to you and Mark, or just Mark?
We
Are
can't
you a
have this
Jedi?
conversation.
Answer my damn question, Days.
Josh,
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to raise my voice.
this is not what I need.
Anyway, so I don't know if you had a chance to look yet, but Ken Branagh, the director of our movie, well, you know, he wrote some sides for today that he wanted us to go over. So I thought maybe we would just have a quick go. So I start off, I say, who do you think is the murderer on the Orient Express? The train that we're on right now.
I don't know.
And then this is you say...
I don't know, but you're not asking the right questions.
And then I say, what would you have me ask, Daisy? Or whatever your character's name is. And then you say...
Who are Rey's parents?
Uh-huh.
Am I a Jedi?
Right.
Is Finn paralyzed from the waist down?
Waist down. And then it says you answer honestly. And then Ken's going to have the camera on you, and you can practice that now. Answer all Ken's questions for our movie. Daisy, don't do this.
Josh, I'm not answering any of your Star Wars questions.
No, Daisy, you're not. You're answering her Star Wars questions.
Have you been tested for midichlorians? Is Snoke Palpatine? Are you the last Jedi? What's the deal with Reylo? Why don't you answer my damn questions?
Hey YouTubers, it's Charlie. I can't believe she said no to Dame Judi Dench. How can you say no to her? So what I'm going to do is my top 5 craziest Snoke theories. Talking about Star Wars theories is so much fun. It's even better when they're wildly outlandish. So I just wanted to do a fun bonus video for Star Wars Fridays. So there's a new round of the Star Wars giveaway. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber and leave a comment on this video. It's for IMAX gift certificates. Be sure to click that bell to enable alerts so you don't miss anything. So I'm going to start with the less crazy ones and work my way down to the most crazy Snoke theory. There are a bunch of them, but I just tried to pick out 5 of my favorites. So number 5, Snoke is the last Jedi, not Luke Skywalker or Rey like everybody thinks. The 2 most plausible theories is that the Last Jedi title refers to either the combination of Rey and Luke, they are the last of the Jedi as in plural, or it's simply referring to Luke, the last Jedi, because the opening crawl in episode 7 names him as the last of the Jedi. But the reason this is my number 5 is because there is an element to truth to it. Like all great theories have a kernel of truth, no matter how outlandish they sound, but the idea that Snoke descends from an order of Jedi, that he is trying to create a new order of Jedi with Kylo Ren, just suggests that he could also be the last of the Jedi. So the only reason I don't think this is going to pan out is just because the theory about Luke and Rey is a lot more plausible. So in the phase of overwhelming evidence for another theory, this is just on the list of crazy theories, but it's not nearly as nuts as some of the ones that are low on my list. So number 4, Snoke wants to possess Kylo Ren, as in transfer his consciousness in the way that the Emperor did during the EU. He had all the clones. If you ever read the Dark Empire series, it's one of the best Dark Horse Comics Star Wars series ever. During the 90s, during the period where Star Wars was licensing out a lot of its book content, you got the Thrawn trilogy, there was a lot of great Star Wars content. Luke seeks out the Emperor, goes to Biss, where there's this dark side stronghold. While he's there, he learns what happened to the Emperor after Return of the Jedi. This was the greatest thing for fans, too, because you're like, oh my god, they're continuing the story. What happened after he threw him down that elevator shaft? So the idea is that the Emperor is so powerful that he cannot be outright killed. He becomes something of a Force ghost himself. His spirit transfers into one of his clones. So it's an 18-year-old version of Emperor Palpatine. But the idea stands that Sith can transfer their consciousness into others' bodies and take them over. So along comes Ben Solo, this really powerful Jedi descended from the line of Vader in an effort to create a more powerful Force user from a fallen light side Jedi who also wields the dark side of the Force. So the theory is pretty simple, that he will build Kylo Ren up and then use him as a vessel to transfer himself to because his body is failing so much. There are a couple Snoke theories on this list that depend on his scars, the way his body looks, how decrepit he is, how the dark side has twisted him, and how he's going to continue to survive. The reason I think this won't pan out is because Snoke himself is supposed to be somewhat ancient in the galaxy, so he's already long-lived. He doesn't need another body. But like I said, the reason that it's plausible is because that act is very common amongst dark side Force users. Really the only way I think the theory works is if you feel like the ultimate boss to be defeated is Snoke, and I really feel like it's going to be a Kylo Ren versus Rey situation. It's not going to be like Darth Vader, where he ends up killing the Emperor at the end. Something else will happen. It won't be a complete repeat of Return of the Jedi. Number 3 theory, Snoke is Darth Plagueis. Slightly more crazy, but still fairly plausible. The reason people thought this initially is just because he's a bigger boss to be had than Palpatine, someone who's scarier, who Palpatine tried to learn from, the secret of beating death. So he's this really big figure from the canon, and he's a Mun, so he resembled what people thought that Snoke looked like before they actually saw the movie. And even after the movie came out, because he was so big, the hologram, a lot of people picked that up and ran with it and said, okay, he's just going to be the movie version of what the Muns are, even though we've seen them in Star Wars before. But this is one of those theories that people like Pablo Hidalgo, Ryan Johnson, people behind the cameras have been trolling fans with, just saying, your Snoke theory sucks. So this is typically what they're referring to when they say that, although there are a lot of Snoke theories, and they're just making fun of that I'll explain after my number 2, because number 2 is even crazier. Number 2 theory, Snoke is really Mace Windu. I totally love this theory because it is so crazy. Samuel L. Jackson's ears are burning, like he just sits up somewhere, wherever he's sitting in the world right now, listening to everyone talk about him. Hell yeah, I want to come back to Star Wars. This theory largely depended on him surviving his encounter with Palpatine in Episode 3 and becoming scarred in the way that Snoke is scarred, being twisted to the dark side of the Force and sort of slinking away to come back and haunt the galaxy in this physical form with the First Order and Kylo Ren. The problem with this, and the reason that the producers like to make fun of fans so much, which is sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's not so funny, is just because I think what's really going on with Snoke's identity is that they wanted to create a brand new character that wasn't somebody from the canon, that they didn't necessarily overly explain early on, so a lot of people were trying to fill the gaps, like if he's such a big figure, why haven't we heard about him before? And I think the simple explanation for that is that they don't want to reveal too much information about him, they want him to be mysterious, so he is a big figure in the history of the galaxy, but the only reason you haven't heard about him in the other expanded materials is because they haven't written that yet. They haven't edited that in the way that they added that Death Star MacGuffin during Rogue One. Like, this is the reason for that glaring error in design in the Death Star. So there are going to be some moments like that in the new films that'll explain why we haven't seen Snoke before. So even though I love the amazing Snoke is secretly someone else theories, I don't think that they're going to pan out. But my number one craziest theory, which is even more outlandish, is that Snoke created Rey in a lab. Like, she's secretly a test tube baby that was engineered by Snoke to be this new vessel. So the main reason why that probably isn't going to pan out, you can already imagine, is because he didn't seem to immediately know exactly who she was. He just knew there was an awakening in the Force. So her parents will be someone else. And there have been a lot of new theories recently about who her parents are. Like, a lot of people think that it might be Benicio del Toro as an older version of Ezra Bridger, because he's going to be a villain in the new films, and we haven't seen a whole lot of Rebels. We don't know where Ezra is when all these new films are happening, but I might do another video about that next week. I don't think it's going to pan out either, but it's actually a really good theory. So let me know in the comments, what are your favorite crazy Star Wars Episode 8 theories? Or they could be for Episode 9. Just the more outlandish, the better. Even if you don't think they're going to pan out, just write them below in the comments. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to post my Lego Batman Easter egg video. There's a bunch of new footage from Logan that dropped, so I'll be posting updates on the video schedule as I post new videos, but Lego Batman Easter eggs will post Saturday morning. Congratulations to Flair Knight, you're the latest Star Wars giveaway winner. You win 2 IMAX gift certificates. Please private message me on the back end of my channel so I can get your contact details. So there's a new round that started in this video. I'll announce the winner the next time I post a Star Wars video. While you wait for that, you can click here to learn all about Snoke's backstory that's actually canon to Star Wars, and you can click here to learn about the new Iron Man suit that we might see during Spider-Man Homecoming. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Let's high five. I'll see you in the next video.